The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
You're in Emsolation.
Yes,
It's
Michael
a clean
Lucas.
slate.
It's a clean slate.
Like this year is as if it hasn't already gone to hell.
If
And we're
only.
only like 13 days in. 14.
I mean, exactly. Welcome to the first episode. Good start. Welcome to the first episode of Emsolation for 2025. Let's see. Trump is president-elect.
Yeah.
We're in an environmental catastrophe and on the brink of World War III. So let's disassociate together for an hour, shall we?
Elon Musk is our overlord from now on.
God.
We're on his internet.
So much has happened since we last spoke, and we're going to be touching on a few of that, and then we're just going to be avoiding a lot of it. I think that's for the best. I need to sleep. You need to sleep. The news
We're
cycle-
not, just to be clear.
Absolutely not. The first thing, though, is I have a bone to pick with you. I have, and you have worn the most, and oh, wait. Welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Rossiano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximist power queen,
Oh, God. A foremost tennis commentator.
and a neurodivergent magic brain. And together with my best friend since I was 11, award-winning screenwriter, Mr. Michael Lucas, I bring you this podcast each week. We're in our 6th year of bringing you – 6?
Wow. Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
2020. 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
woo! That's a long time.
Yeah.
And today we're going to get through – I have a bone to pick with Michael. We're going to talk Golden Globes, Patti LuPone. There's a news story that's absolutely captured my imagination, heart and mind. As an Italian, there's a clue. And also the fact that Trump has threatened to invade several countries.
Yeah. Seize the Panama Canal. Take Greenland.
Canada,
Yeah.
just whoever. Sure, guys. And last night, Michael and I went to the tennis.
Didn't we?
I mean, before I pick my bone with you, let's touch on the tennis. You were so lucky
I was.
to be there
I know.
with one of the foremost tennis experts this country has to offer.
It was unbelievable.
I mean, I was throwing things out like Richard Krajicek, Ivan Gulagong.
It was honestly
I'm right up with the recent plate, Monica Seles.
I felt like I was at a science fair with Einstein. It was just incredible.
I'm sorry, but tennis has been shit. Like, we haven't had good tennis since the mid-90s. Truly.
Well,
In terms of characters,
right? Yeah.
I mean, I could name Boris Becker, Pat Cash, Steffi Graf, Monica Seles, Richard Krajicek, aforementioned. Who else have we got?
Martina Navratilova,
What was the who was
Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Yeah, yeah. McEnroe, did you say him?
That's something
What
I
a
would like to
character.
shout during sex.
I'd be
At the
interested
point
to
of
see-
climax, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Yeah, please do, and then report back Scott's reaction.
Well, I mean, he was a big tennis fan. I think
Wow.
I might get a high five.
Or
And it's nice of you
you
to
might get a
assume-
lot more than that. Who knows?
nice of you to assume that would be Scott.
I know. Well, I'm trying to start with, is it optimism? I don't know. But I
yeah.
wanted my favourite of M's commentaries, and it was said with such sincerity.
Just paint the picture. I was sitting next to you quietly commentating the match.
Whilst eating a lot of carbs and lactose and alcohol and declaring how much you were going to regret it as you consumed it. And the competitor, Nishesh, yes, he slammed the ball into the net and then went, lacks height.
Excuse me. I said elegant shot.
Sorry, yeah, that's true.
Elegant shot, lacks height. And then I decided
the
to
analysis.
just see how far I could push shouting out platitudes.
Random things. You never knew what was going to come out. It could be something from Drag Race.
I shouted out best wishes at one point.
It could be Shakespearean iambic pentameter. We didn't know.
I did do all of
As
that.
you like it. What?
I did shout, I actually like it. Best wishes. And then I was saying things like, oh, he came in dry. Not a courtesy finger to be seen.
That's
I
right.
think the
That's
people around
right.
us
Ooh,
appreciate
lube
it.
up. Yeah.
Lube up's a dry shot.
Yeah.
Dry
yeah.
shot.
You coined Djokovic. You said that.
The Djokovic dick swing.
Dick swing, yeah.
So Djokovic, he had a week 75%. I'd say he ended up winning, but he was not. Wasn't one of his best performances. But every now and then, after, say, 3 minutes of lackluster, we'd just get a big Djokovic dick swing, just a big 196 kms an hour down the fucking middle, just piercing the air. Just
DDS.
Gone. Yeah, so I just started shouting, oh, it's a DDS.
Yeah.
So I'm here, channel whatever.
7, I believe it is.
I am tennis.
Yeah.
Now listen, this episode is called I'm Outraged on the Rant. And let us begin the first aforementioned rant.
Okay.
You are wearing an extremely antagonistic T-shirt today. So the movie The Substance, starring Demi Moore and Ally McDowell's daughter. What's her name?
What is her name? She was in Maid. And she's married to the guy that makes all of Taylor Swift's songs with her, Antonov.
Yeah. But we don't know her name.
No, we do.
No. Don't look at Odie. She's looking at it. Wow, that's sad.
I haven't had much sleep. James has got it. He knows.
Nah, we don't need it. Anyway, we don't need it because this film is utter trash. And Michael Lucas came in. He's like, oh, you should watch The Substance. You'll like it. It's camp. And then I see at the Golden Globes, Demi wins Best Actress. It wins, it's nominated for a bunch of awards. And I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll give it a watch. So finally, Chella and I relent a couple of days ago. And I paid cash money that I've earned through blood, sweat and tears. We sit down to watch The Substance and it's pretty. It's like ambiance and aesthetic is very 80s, but then it's set modern day. So I love the juxtaposition of that and the mixing of the two eras. Cool. Also noticing the director borrows heavily, and by that I mean directly steals from Baz Luhrmann's techniques. I felt like I was watching Romeo and Juliet. Only it was a fucking sensory nightmare.
I would say more Strictly Ballroom because it's that hyper close-up, which Romeo and Juliet didn't do that much, but Romeo and Juliet loved it.
Yeah.
Strictly Ballroom loved it. Sorry.
But this movie is objectively shit. It's not good. And it is so gross. And there are so many scenes where I thought, fuck Michael Lucas's drag. Because what the hell were you thinking? Sitting there watching a movie that does extreme close-ups of people eating, of people sewing their spinal column back together, of people of bones piercing out of skin, and thought, you know who would love this?
No, it's body horror, of course. It's terrible. No, but I did know. I think I said sensory-wise you might struggle.
Struggle?
Yeah.
There's also no storyline. It doesn't make sense. What is in it for Demi Moore's character? She doesn't remember all the fun she has as young, hot Lizzie Sparkles, whatever her fucking name is. And all it does is just degenerate her body to a point where she can barely.
But she didn't know. I don't think she understood that was the deal, the pact that she was making.
She kept going back for her order at the locker, the bunker.
Yeah.
I mean, surely after week 1, you'd be like, well, this is shit. I'm not going back.
I'm in a war with my younger self.
My apartment's ruined. I don't remember the good time. My body now is terrible. I've lost my job to younger me. Like, I don't understand what was in it for that. I think that is a blaring pothole. What is the motivation for her to keep turning up at the lockers? Why for?
Well, the irony is she's so detached from the success of her younger incarnation.
So what's the point?
Well, I suppose isn't that the ultimate comment? Ultimately, you can't enjoy it anyway, and yet you're still driven to do it. Can't let go.
I think you're giving her way too much credit. But do we have the one scene that was most offensive to me? Do we have that there? There was one scene I sat through her literally hacking her back open so that she can birth. Quaid? This scene with Dennis Quaid eating prawns.
Yeah.
Well, can we have a look at this?
People just love that.
Oh, my God, Michael.
That's just the way it is. So you know what I mean? People are just people. And I have to give people what they want. That's what keeps the shareholders happy. And people always ask for something new. Renewal?
Oh.
It's inevitable.
Oh, stop. I can't do it. Stop it. That was the most offensive thing to me out of the whole movie.
But don't you think it's like he's the arbiter of whether she's hot enough, attractive enough to keep going, and he's so disgusting.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's shit. There's no dialogue. And it felt to me.
It's hard to write something with no dialogue.
Is
That's
it?
compelling.
I would objectively say it's not hard to write something without dialogue.
I think look,
there's no writing.
I love it. No, that's not true. It's very hard to just tell a visual story. But for me, obviously, it's so different to anything I would do. But it goes so far, and just when you think it can't go any further, it goes. Did you get to the end?
No.
I mean, have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God! There is no restraint. Everyone.
Wait, I'm sorry. There cannot be any. It cannot go any further.
It does. That's the thing about it is you don't think that this can't go any further.
All right, tell us. Spoiler alert. But
spoiler alert!
You don't want to see it.
Where did you get up to?
We got up to where the thing pokes out of hot Lizzie Sparkle's bum. You know, she's doing the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a bulge and
yeah.
they're like, the production. And she goes and she shuts herself and she puts her dressing gown on. And then she starts pushing whatever the foreign object is.
Backed in.
What was it? What is she pushing up through her
some
body?
Sort of growth or something like that. But no, in the end, they end up in this horrible, they're at war with each other and it's coming up to the New Year's Eve.
So the rule is every 7 days,
Yeah.
you plug the other body into intravenous mushy food, lock it in a cupboard, nude, and go off and live your life. Which one of them, the young version, is having a great life, and then Demi Moore is just like existing as a shell, shuffling around in a dressing gown, like waiting to be the young version of herself again. Yes.
Ultimately,
so someone breaks the
they
7-day
keep breaking
code.
all the rules back and forth, and then finally they end up in this horrible distorted. They're a fusion of each other. They're like some gloopy thing with like their two faces all mushed in together, but they still go to do the New Year's Eve thing. So she comes out on air and she's got like a breast hanging out here and like weird gross out of her, and then she vomits blood all over everything, and then finally gets destroyed. And ultimately, Demi Moore ends up like a little gloopy bit of flesh with a face, and still
like Voldemort at the end of Harry Potter.
I guess so, yes. And then crawls her way slowly. And the final image is she crawls her way to a Hollywood star, just her face and a whole lot of fleshy gloop, and then sits there. And then finally people treadle over her and she dies. You cannot believe it. It goes so far. And yeah, for me, it was hilarious. I mean, you've got to love. I mean, I've always like. I remember when I was a kid, I loved The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, which is so disgusting, and this for me was the best kind of body horror because it really is rooted in like a real instinct that we all have, that we want to be hot and we're prepared to put ourselves through pain to do it. And I just loved how far it went.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I turned it off when I did.
It is, one thing you cannot say about it is that everyone committed. They committed.
Yeah, but it's not Wicked, which I've now watched
I don't think it's
9
trying
times.
to do the same
I
thing
owned
as
it the
Wicked.
day. My weird kink now is, and it's my kink, I troll the world looking for people who have never seen it so that I can be their Wicked dealer. So that I may sit with them and I watch them 10 centimetres from their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. And I don't understand how that has beaten Wicked. I'm sorry.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I think Demi's going to beat Cynthia.
Absolutely not. Now, while we're at the Globes, you were happy with everything that went down. We felt the host did well. I didn't like the P. Diddy joke. I'll lay it out there. It felt weird. Nikki Glaser.
Oh, till we're all reunited at P. Diddy's trial.
Yeah. Or no, the after party won't be as good because that joke.
Yeah.
That felt
Stanley Tucci.
off
Yeah.
because most of the victims were sex trafficked, poor people. A lot of them are people of colour. It just felt like you're punching down. She was punching down. That's it. That was probably the main criticism. Otherwise, I think she nailed it. I think she was a great host. Do you know that Kathy Griffin has never hosted an award ceremony?
Well, and indeed, she was the first solo female host.
Yeah, because Amy and Tina have done it. I know. But I thought she nailed it. I think she'll be back. I think she's the perfect pitch for that. And after Joe Coy's efforts last year, it was the popular was amazing.
She put everyone to shame.
Yeah, she was great.
And it was so honed. You just knew it was all killer, no filler.
She's a nerd. She's a total nerd. And she also bothered to watch the films, which makes a big difference. I think you can throw shit at people when you've actually taken in their work. And so you're speaking from a place of information. Whereas Joe Coy just clearly had not done any work when he stepped and relished in that. So I think it was great. I feel like it's a grim year for filmmaking with all of those films. I do wonder about
For me, it's
You've seen a lot of them.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of it is. What I love about it is it's pretty tough to pick what's going to win Best Picture. I would predict Wicked because I think it's a good consensus pick.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Anora and The Brutalist and Conclave and Amelia Perez, there's a lot. You could sort of imagine any one of them getting there.
You've seen all of those, and when I've asked you how they are, there has never been a resounding, yeah, really good. You've been like, I like parts of it.
Yeah, I mean, Anora was the closest to like the one that I loved like about 95% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's very, very rare that the Best Picture winner is something that I really love. I mean,
The Green Book.
Yeah, Green Book. And what was the one about the Coda?
Oh, Coda.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like, I mean, I think I pretty much just accept that my tastes aren't going to align with
Well,
the
I don't
Academy's.
know what your tastes are after recommending that fucking substance bullshit that's on your T-shirt right now. Do you have any other comments to make about the Golden Globes before we move on to other stories we would have covered if we were on air?
It was a sad night for our Nicole, but she dealt with the joke beautifully.
What was the Nicole joke?
Wasn't it like Keith Urban stopped playing guitar around the house because it was, but then she did reveal afterwards that she had a Nicole joke that she said when she was going to introduce the animated film The Wild Robot, and then she was going to say something like, which is what we call Nicole Kidman on the dance floor after 3 wines. And I fucking love that. And she says she didn't know how Nicole reacted, but
I think she would have taken it well.
Yeah,
She would have taken it well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the joke of the night for us and this podcast, please deliver it. Yeah.
It was night bitch, queer, wicked. No, not just words Ben Affleck yells after orgasm. We were sitting took together. A while to recover. We missed a whole section because we were just dying.
We did not. It's like she AI'd a joke for
and
insulation.
what we missed was Anora Maria something else. No, not just names Jeff Goldblum mistakenly calls Ariana Grande. God, they were good.
Oh, sorry.
And they kept delivering. Like you would just keep going, oh my God, that joke. It's immediately funny, but the more I unpack it, the funnier it gets.
Oh, I thought about Night Beach, Queer and Wicked for a long time after. It was very good. I wish Ben had been there. I really do. I wonder what would have happened with his facial expressions.
Oh, I know. What a close-up that would have been.
Obviously, this week, the inauguration is happening. Carrie Underwood has been announced as the singer.
Oh,
dead to us.
J-Lo said no this time.
J-Lo said no. Even J-Lo.
Brutal. Oh, J-Lo.
Never forget.
Let's get loud.
Oh, never forget. So that's happening, but obviously Trump has been already kind of acting like he's president. Even though he hasn't officially taken office, he's been throwing some wild things around. He's either going to buy or invade Greenland. Now, Donald Trump Jr. landed there this week and was in the Trump jet and was handing out MAGA hats in Greenland. And everyone's like, why the fuck do people care about Greenland? Thanks to global warming, ice is
not
melting.
looking so bad.
And there will be great trade passageways opened up, but also a great place for a naval base. Like Greenland's positioned really beautifully for any of the nuclear powers to pop themselves a base. So everyone's kind of looking at Greenland going, girl. So Trump is out and out just said, we're just going to take it. To which the Danish Prime Minister has been like, well, no. That's not going to happen. And Justin, he also was throwing around he was going to take over Canada.
That's right, yes.
Justin Trudeau, who has retired, resigned, given it away.
He has. Career imploded, I think is what you can say.
Tweeted something, to the effect of, this is absolutely never going to happen. You're never going to take over Canada. We have free healthcare and good education and gun control laws.
Yeah.
To which Elon Musk tweeted, girl, you don't even go here. You're not the governor of Canada anymore.
How long do you think, what are you giving Elon and Donald, how long do you reckon they can hold it together as a united front? Elon turned on Nigel Farage. That was so quick.
Yeah.
Because Elon
turned on MAGA.
He is so drunk on power.
Told them to go and F themselves in the face.
Yeah.
A Tropic Thunder reference, which is a film I don't know you want to be aligning yourself with, Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, in case you forgot. But I just think he so quickly told the people that he was giving $1 million a month to go F themselves in the face because they wanted to get rid of the visas that allowed immigrants to come and work basically in Silicon Valley.
Yes, which his whole company and hence fortune relies upon.
Exactly. But I feel like there's something like 2,500 billionaires in America now. And I think Trump will just gather, like Zuckerberg, all of Silicon Valley, all those billionaires are now just rallying around him like sycophantic cheer girls.
Zuckerberg has killed me.
And did you notice Zuckerberg's gone for he's let his natural curl come out? Like he's really changing. He's not in a suit and tie anymore.
No.
He's now wearing T-shirts with chokers and bracelets. And he's basically saying,
he's going on Joe Rogan.
We are not going to monitor the internet in any way.
No.
We just say whatever you want. It's fine. You call a woman an appliance if you want. You perpetuate hate speech. God, I don't want to crush your dreams of free speech.
He's recognizing a cultural shift, as he says.
He truly is. They're removing all the diversity and inclusion policies. Everything's being rolled back now. It is a new era of...
It's terrifying.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, still, though, the process of getting stuff done through Congress is agonizing and takes so much patience. And clearly,
well, not
Elon,
if you TikTok.
Well, but even that took a long time to happen.
But it's still wild that it's actually something that they said is going to happen. Of great significance is about to happen.
But the weird thing about it is Biden actually managed to get quite a lot through Congress, considering
not only that, they have the greatest and strongest jobs economy that they've ever had.
Wild.
He is now proven to be the best president for jobs that America have had in the history of American politics. The poor guy is like being relegated to, oh my God, I know this is a side quest. Jimmy Carter's funeral. Did you see the seating situation?
Yes.
Whichever
Riveted.
bitchy gay put that together, hats
amazing.
off, brava.
Because there's so much to unpack.
Incredible. To put Kamala in the seat in front, Melania was fuming she wasn't front row at the fashion show. She was off tits. You had Kamala.
Is that how you read it? I read it as she was trying to communicate, all of you who have come for my husband, I hate you all and I'm not going to be nice to anyone.
She was shitty about how dare you. We are the president-elect and first lady and we are in the third row. And I love that was so messy putting Obama next to Trump. Messy gay.
Yeah, but then...
They were chatting.
Jovial. And then Trump said, we probably would get along. We've got some philosophical issues, but we probably get along.
Obama's being a messy bitch. All of them were. Kamala would not. Hillary refused to face Trump.
Yeah.
It was the most exquisite gathering. Oh my God. I genuinely want to track down the seating arranger of that funeral.
Yeah.
Who did it?
I know.
Because imagine that being... Oh, fuck, I would kill. Oh my God, I would love that job so much. I want a documentary on the person that did the sitting
And
arrangement.
again, we are, as we all know, in the era of lip readers. And oh my God, didn't they have a field day? But didn't come up with anything really great.
No, because I feel
they
like...
were careful.
Yeah. I think they all knew the lip readers were being off chops.
But also...
Harry and Meghan have been doing fuck all, so the lip readers are all desperate for a gig.
Well, they're consoling firefighters and displaced people at the moment.
It's true.
But I think people... do have a tendency to overread because everyone was going on about, how much Kamala and Joe must hate each other because they're not like smiling. And I'm like, they're at a funeral.
They're at a funeral.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
A man has
Imagine
died.
if they were going, what?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Now, finally, before we move into the sealed section, in which I will be telling Michael how I was nearly arrested by border control when I landed in Perth. I have not told you this story. I've been holding off for the sealed section.
What about the news story?
The news story we're about to get to.
Okay.
There's been a news story happen, but I wanted to pre-sell what's happening in the sealed section because we want people to subscribe.
Yes.
Because I need to double our subscriber base. We have big plans for the Down the Hill studios. So if you're a casual part-time Emsolation listener, we are doing 7-day free trials for you to see the goodness. So you can go in, you can take it up at any time. You get 7 days to go and listen to the hundreds of episodes that are sitting there and decide, yes, these people are worth my $2 a week. But coming up in today's sealed section is me landing in Perth and having police issues, my New Year's Eve at a music festival. Oh, dear God. And Michael wants to make some predictions for 2025.
Yeah.
Because we apparently
We
forgot
didn't
to do
do
that
it last year.
So we're going to make our predictions. So it's a big sealed section coming up. But before we go, I do want to let you know about a news story that had me cackling so much. It was unhinged. Did you catch that the Roman Catholic Church announced that gay men are now allowed to train as priests with the caveat that they are not to be flamboyant or obvious about being gay? And now when I saw this story, I noticed a lot of like social commentators were like, girl, you first. Have you seen yourselves? Let those without velvet red robes with gold silk lining cast the first limp wrist.
Yeah.
And to them I say, how dare you? How dare you suggest that there is anything camp about the Catholic Church? For instance, is this not the epitome of masculinity? How dare you suggest that this is in any way flamboyant or obvious? And I will not hear you say one word about their tiara. And that is the official title of that piece of headwear.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to all the gay men concerned that if the Italian Roman Catholics tell you to tone it down, you can still turn up in arseless chaps, a mesh singlet and a feather boa and be considered okay to train.
Yeah.
That's my news story of the week.
I didn't realise that red shoe.
Fabulous.
I
Prada.
know.
It's Prada.
Heaven.
I love it.
Who is the flamboyant gay that's thinking, oh, I really want to go for the top job in the Catholic Church?
I don't know, but all I know is they finally announced, and I imagined in my head it was like, fine. You can train to be the priests, but you cannot be obviously gay.
No mincing.
No mincing. Fine. And that's what he flipped. He flipped his little tiara thing. Oh, I love it. I live. Okay, and on that note, God, I love that news story. I cackled so much. I was like, know thyself. Know thyself. Have you looked in the mirror lately, girl? Madam, your robes, they are silk.
Do you know it was like Mark Zuckerberg said that he says at the moment, one of the terrible things he said is that organizations really need at the moment more masculine energy. And then so many people have said, well, that's going to be a problem for Facebook because you're
For instance, Mark Zuckerberg might have an issue with the Catholic Church if he tried to train there. All right, that's it. Coming up next on the Sealed section, as we said, my brush with border security, my New Year's Eve with a lot of teenagers on ecstasy, and our predictions for 2025, all coming up in the Sealed section. We'll see you there. Bye.
If you want to hear, or even better, watch what happened next, give yourself the gift of Emsolation Extra. For less than $2 a week, you get 2 bonus episodes every week, close friends access on Instagram, pre-sales ticket priority, and merch discounts. There's even exclusive video episodes of our Sealed section every Thursday on our Extra tier for less than $3 a week. Find out more at emsolation.supercast.com now. Emsolation with M. Rusciano is recorded at Down the Hill Studios, hosted by M. Rusciano with Michael Lucas, executive produced by Benjamin Wasley, produced by M. Rusciano, edited by Ezekiel Fenn, with videos by James Henderson, socials by Benjamin Wasley, M. Rusciano and Marcella Rusciano Barrow, with assistance from Jem Evans and Isabella Hines. You'll find links to get more Emsolation on Instagram at Emsolation Podcast. And thanks for listening. We can't wait to chat with you again soon.